You know what happened to the flight? I got him there early.
Who?
Larry. He was so drunk in my car. We almost crashed because he's feeling up my chest. He's behind me. He's feeling me up. And then they kick him off the plane. The marshals had to escort him off the plane.
Larry Lawton.
9 o'clock coming out of Westchester to Florida. No one's on the plane, but the flight attendants were like, you can't sit there because he wasn't in his seat. Like his assigned seat. Mm-hmm. So they got the marshals, kicked them off. He had to get a hotel and stayed there.
Yeah. Oh, he's a legend. Legend.
Yeah, that's wild.
What I love that man. You know he signed a book for me?
Yeah, he signed the cigars too. Zach loved those cigars.
He didn't give me cigars.
Right.
Zach said it was the best cigar he ever had in his life.
Average at best.
I got to smoke one that he had in his ass for a week. It was delicious.
We ready to go, boys? We don't got time to be farting around.
All right. Well, are we doing introductions? Welcome to Two Dudes, Three Legs podcast. If you know who we are, good for you. If not, go yourself.
It's about
Let's
right.
get this started.
Oh, you fucking gonna be famous.
Guys are looking sharp.
Zach Dingy.
Tony
Two
Capoletti.
Dudes, Three Legs podcast, where we share business tips, interview experts.
And travel the world.
This week on Two Dudes, Three Legs.
So basically, everyone watching, if you don't know who we are, we're Two Dudes, Three Legs.
Because we're two dudes.
We got Ian Bick Energy sitting over there on the other side, and
Ian's my
it's a
boy.
great collabo right here. We're gonna get into some shit. Ian is technically a prostitute by definition, just online prostitute. He's also blowing up on Instagram,
So I have a
YouTube,
chance.
all of the above.
He's also a Q29 heavyweight.
One of the OGs.
For real.
One of the OGs.
He's definitely the largest viewed podcast out of this building
This is correct.
by a landslide.
This is
He's
correct.
crushing us. I'm not upset about him. Very happy. He's a killer. Guy's a dog.
You guys have the solar shit, so you know I gotta have something. Right?
What he meant to say was, well, you guys have a job.
All right, so as previously mentioned, you are on OnlyFans, correct?
Not really so much anymore. We did like a 2-month, whatever the.
The worst thing you did,
test.
what's
Yeah,
the worst thing
little
you
test.
did on OnlyFans? What
All
can
right,
people
so-
go see of you if they want to right
I'll
now?
tell the fan story. So I was like, well, you know, how do you monetize? Because I'm all about like monetization and building, like turning my brand into money.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you know, I have a really large gay following. Like every day, my DMs are. Let me tell you guys, my DMs. My DMs are women in their 30s that are single mothers. They all have kids. Single mothers. Whatever it is, they're attracted to like that felon, bad boy, whatever. I have those. And then I have a lot of men. And then there's like older women, like in their 50s or 60s that hit me up. But there's a good amount of men that hit me up, like calling me cute, attractive, or
Gay
whatever.
men.
Yeah. And I interact with all my followers. Like I'm not personally gay.
Physically?
But I'm not going to not, no, like I'm not going to not talk to them. So I'll like a message, or I'll give like a heart, or I'll like do the heart emoji or whatever.
This sounds like a cover up.
So
He's trying to get in front of it because he gets under it.
So I guess in a sense you could pair that to like girls that like when a guy slides in a girl's DM and she like likes it or something, the guy's like automatically thinking that he has a chance. So I guess these guys feel that way about me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know, let's start OnlyFans. I brought it up to the QT9 guys, and at first we were all like, maybe it doesn't really fit the brand. And we ended up launching it, and like we grossed like $3,000 in a couple months.
Why would you stop it?
Because I don't think long term that's the direction I want to go in.
No,
like I was
definitely
thinking about it, like you look at the biggest podcasters in the world and stuff, they're not on OnlyFans. Like I could easily go on OnlyFans right now and probably bring in like $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
But is that what I want to do as I'm preparing myself to get into the world of dealing with advertisers and become like a legitimate brand and
It's a
stuff?
good point. It's a really good point.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way. Could I use the money? Yeah, but I don't think that's the long-term thinking.
What percentage of people that subscribe to your fans were men?
All of them. I think there was one girl.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So
Holy
I'm going to
fuck.
ask my question again. What did you do on OnlyFans? And is it all down? It's taken down now?
No, so the page is still up. So what I did, like, there's two parts of OnlyFans. You have your community wall, and then you have your messages. You make all these OnlyFans creators make their money in the messages where people are tipping. That's why, like, some people that have free pages, they make all their money in the messages.
Which
So-
is one-on-one?
One-on-one, they can message you. Some people have people running their accounts, but on my community wall, it was just shirtless pictures, me in my underwear, this and that. in the messages, that's when people would they would say, hey, can I have a feet picture? Can I have a full nude? Can I have whatever? And then you send the message and then they're paying for that.
You went full nude?
What?
Yeah, I did full nude. I didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever, who cares?
Ian's dick is on the internet.
I mean, like, it's just
It was all over prison, so I mean, I guess it makes sense.
No, I think lately, the last 6 months, I've gotten very, very comfortable with who I am. Like, I used to be very insecure, and I would never do that. I was the type of guy that I would not change in front of people at the gym. I just started showering at the gym. I never used to shower at the gym. I was just
Are
not
you that guy who
comfortable.
just stands awkwardly with your dick out in the gym now, like one of those old guys?
No, I don't do that because I have old guys staring at me at the gym I go to. But I just think it's I don't know, I'm a lot more comfortable. Now, when I'm, for instance, when I used to have sex, I would always have a shirt on. Always. Even when I
Really?
had lost the weight.
What?
I never took... So, because I used to be really chunky. So, I always...
But you'd fuck with a shirt on?
Yeah, I never taking
wouldn't
my
even
shirt
let
off.
her
What
play
kind of
with your
animal
tits?
are you, dog?
No, I just didn't I was uncomfortable in my body, and it wasn't until recently, where I'm going full nude, It's just it's so much different.
What type of women are you into? Skinny, thick, tall,
Balls,
I mean-
no balls.
balls?
You guys are coming at me hard tonight. I don't have I guess a specific type. It's a mixture of personality and I guess you could say looks, but really personality is big for me.
Samesies.
Yeah, I think just having that personality, they have to fit a certain mold though. If they're not taking care of themselves, if they're not, you could tell if someone's not going to the gym
She's
or
got
not
to be of
eating
high
right.
morals.
I guess you could say that, or she just has to present herself in a certain manner. There's obviously certain things you can look past. I don't smoke cigarettes, but if she smoked cigarettes or whatever, vaped or whatever, because everyone fucking vapes nowadays. But I don't personally like that. That's something I would put off to the side. But in regards to if someone's hugely overweight or anything, I me who's very disciplined in that manner could not get behind that.
Physically.
Physically, yeah.
How many times a week is too much sex, Bick?
How many times a week?
Yeah.
I've been a fucking hornball lately. I don't
You on a little testosterone?
No, so I don't do any type of testosterone or anything. JD's been trying to put me onto it.
Really?
He actually just found out his shit was fake that he's been taking.
He's
Bro.
on fake tape?
So common.
yeah, so
What?
the only thing I take supplement wise are BCAAs and I take
Mackerel.
no, I take
You need a little test. You
I
grow in
take
your beard a little bit.
I take creatine.
A little test make you grow in
Yeah,
your
I
beard a
can't-
little more,
I
look
can't
more
grow.
None
like
of
it.
that counts.
Yeah, but anyways, back to the question. I tried that whole new thing where you don't jerk off or watch porn.
Yeah.
It totally boosts your sex drive.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Like crazy. And it's just you last longer, boost your sex drive, you're no distractions. And I think it
Energy's
just makes
up.
you want the person that you're with more.
Bro, porn is
Yeah.
extremely weird if you think about if you're in a relationship and you're watching porn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Don't say that.
I don't know, bro. It's so normalized to watch porn. Why is it okay? You're literally jerking off to another woman and another man having sex.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. To me, it's not the same. I'd rather just be
What's the
with that
longest you've
person.
gone without jerking off?
It's been a while. I can't jerk off. I got a baby at my crib. I gotta sneak it in the shower every once in a while.
You
and
catch
there's-
him at the
there's
office.
no porn.
I've walked in the office with you jerking off before.
You got the tissues and the lotion.
No, the
funny.
longest I've gone, I don't know. Sometimes I'll go. Lately, it's easy because I'm so busy and shit. But when you have downtime, it's hard, and it's hard.
Idle hands are the devil's workshop, baby.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling
We
you,
don't got
I listen
shit
to a
to
lot
do.
of motivational speeches, and they're all don't watch porn.
Oh yeah, porn.
all
Will,
of them.
Yeah.
Porn just has awful.
I'm on
awful
2
effects.
months now, and the results are just killer.
How much were you jerking off in jail? I feel like isn't there a code word
Ooh.
for that? Where
Jerking
I'm
off in
going.
jail?
Oh, what's his name? Johnny Mitchell was talking about that they had a code name. So there's a different types of things to jerk off in prison. You would go. Everyone has cell phones, so you would go to the bathroom stall, jerk off with the cell phone. The only thing is, it's dangerous in the sense where guards will hold their keys and walk around and peek over the stall. There's no privacy, so they're peeking over to catch you on the phone.
Yeah, but are you gonna get? Oh, you're getting in trouble from
you'll
the phone.
get in trouble for the phone.
Got it.
Or
Do
you
they
bring
let
it
you
into
finish at least?
I used to bring the phone into the shower stall because that way you could just throw it over if someone was walking by or something. Or when you're in the shoe, it's the worst. If you have a cellmate, you're not going to jerk off. Like, I guess I've heard rumors where guys would jerk off on the bottom bunk or whatever with a cellmate. But when you're alone, then you can you go under the covers or have like a magazine.
What was it like the first time you had sex after you got out?
I fucking lasted 5 seconds.
That's fire. That's fire.
Man, I was like, wow.
Did it squirt like a garden hose?
No, and you know what the thing was? I got attached to that first girl, and that fucked me up because like when you go like that long without having that intimacy, and then when you sit down and catch feelings for someone, like that first girl I had sex with, I caught feelings for, and it was just like a whole different, like it was not a healthy thing for me. It was not the right mindset. But I was gonna, like, it could have been a chipmunk. I would have got attached to it because it was the first person in years, and I was like craving that physical intimacy because everyone had left me at that point.
I love how you said chipmunk. Very strange.
I mean, if I fucked a chipmunk, obviously I would have got attached to it, you know?
So in solar,
I just imagine a chipmunk with its cheeks really full with your balls in it.
You know,
my
a girl
God.
recently called me a chipmunk. Like, she said I look like Alvin or...
the tall one. You're Theodore,
yeah,
my
Theodore
dude.
Yeah, the
from
nerdy one.
Yeah,
Yo.
because I had the blue sweatshirt on one of my photos one time.
Have you banged any of the girls you've had on your podcast?
No.
you've only had like 2?
Yeah, one's married. One's married in an open relationship. Did we have any other girls? We had 4 girls.
How's Mob know this?
It's a good question.
Have you ever been scared of any of the people that you've sat down with with your podcast?
I don't know
Like
about...
when you first met JD, you must have like had one thought and been like, "What?
So-
am I gonna die today?"
With JD, I had seen him on TikTok, and
Yeah.
he's not like you
Yeah,
don't
sure.
know what to expect with him. So he stitched my video one day, and I got the notification. I was like, "Fuck, what's he coming at me for?" That was like the very first time. So I thought he was like calling me out about paperwork or whatever. Turns out he was just like doing a funny stitch, and like he's a really good guy, like
He's
really
the fucking
nice.
nicest dude. ever.
Nicest guy, like so nice, just like great to work with, really cool individual. So like that, yeah, he's the man.
I mean, you guys get some fucking real dudes in here, bro. Sometimes they come down, I look and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that guy doing here?
Yeah,
crazy.
Everyone's a character.
we get some crazy stories, man. I guess that's what makes like the podcast like so unique and stuff, and
Yeah.
like we're finding new people that other people haven't done before, which is cool.
Now, we were talking about it earlier, how handsome you look nowadays. You're all skinny
man.
and whatnot, and it's like you have this new discipline. What are you training for, dude?
So right now, like I'm training like twice a day. I'll hit weights in the morning, and I'll do boxing at night. That's like during the week, and I'm doing like runs. I'm back to my old running time where I'm like running like a 7.5 mile. Like in prison, I used to run for miles and stuff, and I kind of lost it like during COVID. But like training wise, so I had this idea to get into boxing. I did like some boxing when I got out of prison.
Really?
And there's like a big market. That's like the monetization part of me, like looking and analyzing like my brand and stuff and where it could go. And as you guys know, like celebrity boxing is big. They have Rough and Rowdy.
Bro,
this
tell
and
me
that.
you're training for a rough and rowdy fight.
So I was talking to the like a guy at Barstool that I did his podcast, and they were like, you know, you'd probably be good for Rough and Rowdy. And what I want to see, like basically my idea is I want to fight Billy McFarland from Firefest.
What?
Our stories are similar. He called out, he did like this whole marketing campaign to call out Ja Rule, and I heard like Ja Rule declined it or whatever. But like a fight with me versus Billy McFarland would be epic.
Perfect. It would be perfect.
Like literally everyone, like I even have a bigger following than him right now, and he's got 2 Netflix documentaries. So to have us compete against each other, and the money could all go to restitution. I don't care about making $1 from it. The guy owes $26 million. I owe a few $100,000. Like, let's fight.
He'd
like,
be a fool to not take you up to that.
he should run it. Like, let's run it. You know, like it would be fun. It would be a good
Call
fight.
him out right now. Can you speak into the camera? Call Billy McFarland out. Tell him I'll bring the fucking cheese sandwiches.
Billy McFarland, if you're hearing this right now, I challenge you to a one-on-one boxing fight. Let's run it, bro. Let's get, raise funds for our restitution amounts. Me versus you, one-on-one. You name the time, place. We'll get it together. We'll get Barstool to back it. Let's sell this shit the fuck out. Run it.
You guys can go right to El Chapo's Island. Just don't tell them to fucking advertise it beforehand.
I got $1,000 on Bick. knocking him the fuck out.
He's tall though. He is tall. He's got height, but I don't know. Like
He
we're
seems
both
like a little
amateur.
bitch.
What is
he
tall?
seems like
Yeah.
a little bitch.
I see what he's doing. Like I respect the marketing aspect. I just think it's the wrong way to go about it because he's pushing this whole Firefest 2 thing to drive traction to his page. I don't think they're actually going to do a Firefest 2. I think the optics behind it are not good. Like I was on federal probation, so I know what he's dealing with. There is no way the feds are going to let him pull that off. It's just not possible.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
That's a sick boxing name, though. He could be Fire Fist.
I saw a TikTok earlier he posted saying that he's got investors willing to pay off the $26 million he owes just so they could do a Firefest 2. That doesn't make any sense. No, it
You're
doesn't.
going to take a $26 million loss to
Yo,
throw
I don't know
him.
though. He was fucking convincing when in the Netflix documentary, he was getting money from people left and right the whole fucking time. Like the entire time, he was getting people to give him millions of dollars.
I just think like the way he's going about it is the same way if I went and started a nightclub again when I got out. It just wouldn't look as the optics aren't good. It's not the right move.
So he should take on boxing instead.
I think, dude, he's got to. For him to say no to a boxing fight with me, like our stories are so great. He was on Netflix and Hulu. I was on HBO. It's a great fight. People would pay to see that one go down.
How would you
we're on
take
the
it?
same level.
How would you take it if he knocked you the fuck out?
I mean, it is what it is. You
Sore
know,
loser or what?
no, I wouldn't have any bad blood. I don't think he would win.
No.
I think 100% no. But
You think you'd knock him out or just you'd win by points?
I don't know if I'd knock. I mean, maybe we'll see. But we're both equal in training. I think he just started training like he's doing kickboxing or whatever. I just started training.
Oh, so he's been training for boxing already. You've been seeing him
that's
training.
how I got the idea to fight him. I'm not
okay.
How many
challenging
times a
him.
week are you in the gym?
Right now, I'm doing 6 days a week to 2 a day. Yeah. I'm incorporating running. I got the boxing, you know. doing
What weight
everything.
class? Do you know what he weighs?
I don't know what he weighs.
What weight class would you fight in?
I guess on the heavy. I mean, I'm 190 right now. So.
Okay. Well, you'd have to cut some fucking weight, or you'd have to fight
he's
up there.
tall. He's tall.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the weight, but I think it would be a fucking great fight, man. Yeah, we could sell something.
I think
out.
you fuck him up.
People
You
would
look
be very.
tougher.
People would want to see you win. There's a lot of fucking people who got
Well,
screwed over.
People
so.
would also want to see me lose too.
Yeah, people
so.
would. Well, yeah, but I feel like his thing was huge. That Fire Festival, he had celebrities and all kinds of people that would. Well, I don't know. I
What's
guess
your
you guys are
boxing
both-
name going
yeah.
to be?
Just Ian Bick. I
Big
mean, lot-
Big Bick.
Dude,
You
I
need a
think
cool
if
name.
he doesn't take it, like that's some bitch shit. Like it's a good cause. You know, like it's a great idea. And he called out Ja Rule. Ja Rule would have whooped the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'll be the co-main event. Who can I fight? How about like
Let's just fight each other.
Just fight Tony.
me and you. There you go.
Fight Tony.
Oh, that wouldn't be fair. I'd knock you the fuck out.
I want to see a.
No.
I want to see a
I think I'd
Bryce
knock you
and
out.
Zach fight.
I'd also knock him the fuck
The
out.
two mustache men competing.
The two mustache man.
Hype it up, Tony. What would it be like eating in a ring? Give me some uppercuts.
Give me some uppercuts.
I don't know. man.
Did you get into fights in prison?
No, I got into like a slap boxing match. I guess some guy slapped me before, but that was it.
He
Have you gotten
slapped
into
you?
other fights?
No, in 8th grade, I got like jumped at the movie theaters. It was like a big brawl.
Dude, so did I.
Got into a couple of fights, I guess, in middle school. It was stupid. It's like you
Yeah.
know, someone calls you something, you swing, and it's over in like 10 seconds. You
Yeah.
know, and then you reflect back on it. You're like, oh, I wish I did this and that. You know, you could plan all the planning, but once you're in that environment, like you don't know how it's going to go down.
It's facts.
But I think even if I don't fight Billy, like there's going to be someone to challenge or something. I mean, if I got so big, maybe you fight like one of the Pauls or something. Like if I'm a massive social media star.
Yo,
but-
Jake Paul's no joke, dog.
Yeah, he's
I don't
a
know
real
if I'd
deal.
fuck with
I
that.
wouldn't really
Yeah.
want to fight that guy.
Yeah.
if I'm
Yeah,
being
I
honest.
wouldn't
But
fuck with
you
that.
and McFarland, your stories align so well.
Yeah.
It'd be the perfect fight.
It really would. Like I couldn't picture a more perfect fight, you know? And I just think if we build up enough social media hype from it and everything, you know, he's got no choice but to like, I'm excited to like push this clip out.
It'd be the fight for restitution, dude.
Yeah, it really would be. The
It's a good fucking name.
That is a great name.
Yeah, I
How
know.
do you come up with these great names? Commissary Cook-Off, Fight
I'm
for
just
Restitution.
a sick fucking dude, bro.
Yeah.
I'm crazy in the brains area. Got a wild mind.
No, this is going to be real good.
Yeah.
All right,
So, you go? You go.
okay. Let's talk numbers. And obviously, you blew up on TikTok, and that's why you're trying to fight Mr. Billy McFarland. Talk numbers on online popularity. How many email inquiries a day do you get on for people to get
Yeah,
on your
how many
podcast? So
inquiries?
you blew up like fucking
I get
Hot sauce.
I get a lot of emails, definitely. JD actually leaked my email, so I'm still getting like these fucking furry.
JD.
He told everyone to send me sexual furry pictures.
Would you fuck a furry?
No, so I don't know how people are into that, but it's like the furries fucking each other, and I get like still like
That's
3
so
of those
weird.
a day.
I don't understand it.
But I do get emails like people that want to do business, people that want to get in the concert business, people asking for advice, people that want to share their story. People are very like, they're not direct. They're like, hey, like they'll say a line and they don't like, they're not giving the elevator pitch, you know? And a lot of people in my shoes don't even respond, but me, like I try my best to respond, answer, ask more questions to get things out of them. But some people are just like, hey, I have a good story for you. Like, you know, that's not going to get someone's attention. You know, you got to go that extra mile. Like if I'm sending an email to someone, I'm pitching the whole thing.
Right. You heard it, people. He's giving you the sauce, the special sauce to get on the show. Maybe you can come out here and meet us and I could judge your shitty cooking.
Who's your next big nut you're trying to get on the podcast?
I think we really need to get like a celebrity next. Like I think that
You could have any celebrity tomorrow. Who is it?
I mean, obviously someone that went to prison, like Martha Stewart.
I
think that would be great.
She'd crush you on
Honestly,
commissary
you know who
cook-off.
I think will be our first celebrity? And it's just like some weird connection I feel like we have is Julia Fox. Like I was talking to guys about that because one, she follows me on TikTok. Like she'll like some of my TikToks.
What?
Yeah, we follow each other. And her story is like, she's got a crazy story that I don't think she's ever really sat down on a pod to talk about. Cause like she went, you know, to in and out of like juvie or whatever. Like she got arrested for drugs while she was doing like her dominatrix thing as like a kid. And then now she had her dad and brother get arrested for firearms and stuff. So to go through that. So I'm going to pitch her soon. Like I'm just going to hit her up. I had hit her up like a while ago when she first followed me. I was like, hey, let me know what you think of my story, this and that, to try to get on her pod. Never hit me back, but she still follows me. She does. And she has a podcast that had Billy McFarland on, and they have a deal with Spotify. And literally the title of their podcast, well, it's Forbidden Fruits, but like the description is she wants to hear about like from inmates, crime, that type of stuff, because she interviewed Anna Delvey too. She interviewed Billy McFarland. So I fit that mold like perfectly. But I also know they only do like 10 episodes per season. So maybe they had that season planned out and she'll reach out at a later point. I don't know. But I definitely think there's something there with her.
Sounds like it to me. I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, but to have Julia on the show, I think would be big.
So I don't think people understand how big your show actually is. How could you compare your numbers to like a major YouTuber like Gary Vee or?
I mean, so our podcast numbers, everyone has a podcast, you know, it's very hard to get.
Yeah, but you're in like the top what percentile?
Right now, if you look at our downloads, we're in the top 2.5%.
It's crazy.
In the world.
Crazy.
And that means, so the podcasting numbers are like, because it's super hard to break through, like top 10% is if you're getting like 500 or 1,000 downloads. 2.5% is 5,000 or more. I guess it's just because there's so many podcasts out there. It's really hard to like get that breakthrough on what your downloads are. So we were in like top 10% right off like the past, like right into the first few episodes. But now we're averaging within like the first 30 days, we're doing about like 15,000 worldwide per episode. That's YouTube and audio combined. So overall, I mean, there's some episodes that are just blowing it, but on an advertiser scale, they're averaging us at like domestically US based 11,000 within like the first 45 days, which is great to have that. Think about it, you know, like you read online articles about podcasts, like small wins is like getting 100 people to listen. So imagine 11,000 people are listening to the podcast religiously. It's definitely like getting out there. It's getting well known, and my interviewing skills have gotten so much. Like I listened to the first episode we did. It's so fucking cringe compared to now. Now we're having a conversation. We're flowing, and it's going really good.
How's it feel to get 15,000 downloads a month?
I think it's an episode now. So we're doing like, if you think about it, we're doing like 30,000 basically, like 2 episodes a week.
Yep.
And steadily growing.
Yeah.
Right?
Last week alone, the whole pod did 10,000 downloads, which was our highest week, not including YouTube. So to be able, I think the biggest thing right now is to be able to put up a YouTube video and 2-3 days later, 4 days later, it's at 10K views. And you guys know how hard it is to get long form content to really spike on YouTube. So we have something there, and I think it's all about consistency and not letting up. Like we're very strict on our schedule. posting. Like right now we're posting 2 episodes a week. I think later on we could get it to 3 episodes a week would be cool. And not even focus on like the cook off or the small mini episodes. Like I like the podcast. That's like what I'm passionate
that's
about.
your bread and butter. And
Yeah,
that's
my
what
baby.
Gets the big views.
I mean, Joe Rogan posts 3 times a week too, you know? So I think we could be like, I see comments, people are like, oh, you're the Joe Rogan of prison content. And obviously like Joe's special in his own way, but like there's definitely, we're the first people to do what we're doing.
Oh, for sure. There's
on
no
this,
one,
yeah, there's no other
one doing
podcast.
what you're doing.
Yeah. So I think that's really special in itself. And we have something, and just to be able to build it this quickly to monetize a podcast in 3 months, 4 months is
what did
crazy.
your following go from in 3 months?
So when I first started, I was posting on YouTube Shorts since August, and from August to January, I accrued 3,000 subscribers, just YouTube Shorts. Then in January, and that's posting, 3 to 5 times a day, every day, consistently.
Shorts only.
Shorts only. Never posted a long form video. End of January, we post our first long form video. From January to now, I went up 65,000 subscribers on YouTube.
What do you
That's no
grant
joke.
all that success to?
I think it's just consistency, man. It just, because like the first couple episodes weren't the best. I think it's just people know what to expect. Like some of people's favorite creators don't post consistently, and they don't know like when they're posting. Me, you can always expect on the same days at the same times, and I'm just like so relentless and leaving no stone unturned. Like I'm putting in the clips on all like every single thing counts. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, like for months, my Instagram following wasn't going up. Like literally months. I've had that for like 2 years, and I just started posting reels on it a few months ago, but I never gave up. And then all of a sudden, like beginning of last month, I was at 5,000. Now I'm at 25,000.
Damn.
On Instagram. And that's just consistently posting.
You think a lot of other influencers are missing that mark?
100%. There are so many influencers. I mean, you got to think about it. The influencers that are huge on Instagram right now, they got lucky in a sense because it was easier to blow up on Instagram back then. There was no reels. So if they had some name brand popularity or whatever, or if you're a girl that's looking hot, like it's easier for the girl to get on there and blow. Look at like Alex Earl or whatever that blew up overnight or whatever. So like they could post the photos and it'll do really well. It's a lot harder for brands like mine or like yours to get out there. But it was just every day, 3 reels a day. And there's going to be days where your views suck. Yeah. Like you can't get discouraged on that. TikTok, everything, the algorithms are weird. You could have 100,000 followers. Even Gary Vee, perfect example. Guy's got 4 million followers and he'll have a YouTube short that does 2,000. Just about pushing through. You got to keep pumping it. Not everyone's going to be a win. Just like in the concert business, not every concert's going to be a sellout. You're going to have losses. You have to weather that storm, and that differs you from everyone else.
Who do you look up to in the influencer game? What person inspires you? Who are you trying to follow? Who are you trying to be like?
I think 100% Gary Vee is who I've like studied since I first started. Like I started listening to his shorts because he calls everything before it happens. Like I remember when I first started listening to him, he was like, everyone get on TikTok. And he's like, guys, I keep telling you what to do and you're not doing it. People comment to him saying, I don't know what to do, this and that. Well, get on TikTok. And he was the one that I got the idea for YouTube Shorts. He said, get on YouTube Shorts. That's where 2023 is going. And this is back in last year when YouTube Shorts wasn't big. All the big YouTube creators were not using shorts at all. So I got in at a perfect time where like the biggest ones, like even the Pauls, like whoever that's big was not doing YouTube shorts. Like you'll look at some creators' pages that have 1 million subs. They have like 3 shorts, because it's just based off of the old mentality.
Right.
So to have that out there, I think is really cool. And then I follow him and I listen to him and like podcast wise, like I'll listen to Bradley Martin or I'll listen to, I listen to a lot of like David Goggins. I got these YouTube motivational. Yeah. I love listening to YouTube and some of Andrew Tate's stuff that he says is good. Not like the stuff about women or this and that I don't agree with, but like the motivation.
He had to cover himself up real quick.
Yeah, what was that?
No, like the motivation and the discipline aspect. Like you got to respect that guy. He's like, I don't feel any sympathy for the person that's like laying in bed saying they don't have money or they're overweight or they're broke or whatever, and they're not going out and at least trying. And that's like really resonating with me.
You're the hardest working YouTuber influencer I've seen yet. You're the most dedicated one. What do you do for fun, dog?
hang out with you.
That sounds terrible.
No, so for fun, I mean, like, this is fun for me. Like, I'm passionate. Like, I like, you know, I've been running your guys' pages and stuff, and like, I like seeing it's a challenge, you know? Like, we're like, me and Bryce will be on the phone, and we're like rooting when like one of your guys' reels are going well, because it just like shows like the method and the consistency. Like, I like taking on projects like that, and like we were talking the other day, like we're getting excited about like what direction we could take everyone's brands in, this and that, because like it's not a competition. Like, we're all trying to win together, and we all have very
Q29
different
is a
things.
house, bro. We are a home.
Yeah, so that, like, I'm super passionate about that, and like I've been seeing someone like lately for the last couple months too. So I'm seeing kind of like where that goes. So I spend like my free time that I do have with her, and I try to balance it with her and my friends too, like that I have in Danbury, and then between that and work, I'm really good at like time management, balancing my time, and you know, just being effective like that. Cause like I can multitask really good. Some people shut down when that happens. Like, you know, a lot of women, they get overwhelmed if they have this too much going on. Me, I'm like, okay, I got to do this on this day from these days.
Sound like Andrew
else.
Tate saying women can't multitask.
No, it's not that they can't
That's what he
multitask.
said.
It's just I've talked to women.
Clip it.
I've talked to women where they're like, you know, they're saying like, I'm overwhelmed or this and that. And I mean, guys are like that too, but.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much would you say you're a narcissist? In a good way, though.
How can you be narcissistic in a good way?
All it really means is that you're focused on yourself. How much? At the end of the day.
Yeah, but then you have to. You have
bro,
to
you are an
exclude others.
addict.
Yeah.
You're an addict, which is a fucking great thing. There's nothing wrong with you. That's why you're so
He's
successful.
addicted to his craft.
Okay, so he's an addict.
Yeah.
But I don't
He
think I would
decided
ever.
to be addicted to this, but at the end of the day, I mean,
I wouldn't put someone down though. Like if like I can like I'm emotionally intelligent to the point where like I'll understand where someone's feeling, or like
Yeah.
if I'm not bringing my work, like I could leave my work at the door. If I'm spending time, like perfect example, like last week, the person I'm seeing was over, and she's like, why do you leave like your phones over there? Because I have 2 phones now, like one for business and
My
stuff.
guy.
And I
Me
left them.
too.
I left them on. Yeah, I saw your reel on that. I left them on the table, and she's like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's just like disconnecting because I'm on my phone all day. It's like embarrassing to see the screen time on Sundays." But like,
let me ask
I
this
just
then.
disconnect.
do you think you were a narcissist before jail when you were running your bar?
I think I was definitely a piece of shit. Like I was, but you know what it was? I was just like, I was in that mentality where I was not self-aware, and I was so focused on my thing that I didn't care who got hurt or what happened in the process, because in my mind I had a good ulterior goal to achieve. I was like, okay, if I get this club to work out, no matter who gets burned in the process of me achieving that, everything's going to be made right because of the club.
So you weren't really trying to be like that. You were doing it with the goal of eventually fixing it.
Yeah, I
you know?
think so. I mean, a narcissist is going to do it with not caring about whatever. I always had other people's, thoughts and mindset in mind, but it was just like, it was a path of destruction either way, because whether it was a vendor or was this or was whatever was that, because it was just like, it was a mess. It was one big fucking disaster. It was never going to.
Well, listen, to be good at sales or business ownership, you have to have ego, which is what I'm talking about. To then be really good, you have to have empathy. So if you could see both sides of the coin, where you have ego, you want to win, you feel like you deserve to win, and you're focused on it, and then you have empathy for other people. That's how you get really good at sales. And when you have one or the other is when you're not good. If you're too nice, if you're too much of a people pleaser, you never get good in business, or you never sell a lot of deals because you're just too fucking nice and you don't know how to ask questions and put pressure on people. And then if you have all ego, you're just an asshole and nobody wants to work with you. Yeah. So when you have both is when,
Yeah,
that's
you got to like
tool.
find that balance. And I'm trying to find the balance of like, just like I know people think of me a certain way before they meet me, like because they see me on social media and they think I'm just like all about myself or this and that. And when they meet me, it's like entirely different, because I'm not like the person that's like out there on, or how it like looks depicted. Because anyone that's big on social media, someone that's not big on social media is going to call them out for being like a narcissist,
full of themselves and shit.
full of themselves, this and that. And it's really not like that. Like I'm just like a normal guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't, like people could come up to me, say hello, like I'll interact with them, or like I'm just normal.
Yeah, I think anyone though who wants to be big on social media has a form of like an ego, which is good. I mean, I want to too.
You should have a fucking
But I'm just
ego.
saying, the reason people are so upset about influencers and they think they're bad people is because they're like, oh, why do you get the spotlight and I don't? Because everyone wants to feel important. But at the end of the day, everyone has an interesting story. Everyone could be on podcasts and everyone could do this, but they don't. Because they don't have the work ethic. So you deserve to have the following and the people and the things.
Like,
you know?
I see people comment, they're like, why are we giving this guy a platform? Like, he scammed people, this and that. It's not about like the crime that gave the platform. It's about like I think people like the bigger picture of it, like the redemption aspect to it. And there was a grind that went into that. It's not like I just woke up one day and this was handed to me. Like, I worked hard to get there. I had to put my life out there. I had to bring out all my dirty laundry, you know, and air it to the world, you know. Those are the choices I made. And anyone could do that. Like, the people that hate on that or whatever, they could easily do that. Like, I saw someone that were like, why should he be big on social media and I'm stuck working 40 hours trying to make ends meet? That's not my fault.
100%.
Like, anyone could do that.
because it's entertainment.
Yeah.
You have an interesting story, and typically at the end of all of your podcasts, it's an inherently positive story.
Oh, you listen to the
Everyone.
Thank you, man.
Well, just like you hear people's story and they tell about the awful shit that they did, but then they tell about how the insight of it all.
Listen.
You know, what they learned through going through all of that shit.
Yeah.
America doesn't give a fuck. Jordan Belfort screwed over millions of people.
And they love that shit.
Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Well, they love his story.
The people that hate on me are the people that are obsessed with Wolf of Wall Street, and it makes 0 sense. The guy
100%.
still owes $100 million.
Yes. And he fucked over probably the fucking people's parents.
The people that life savings got fucking ripped off, you know? Me,
he literally bankrupted people.
Yeah, but nobody loves Jordan Belfort. They
What
love
are you
his
talking
story.
about?
I mean,
They
people
love his story.
Every kid, every young entrepreneur loves his
Bro,
shit.
I used to have his quotes on my wall and shit all over my fucking
Dude,
house.
he's just like an icon in that sense to people. So, but it's those same people that just don't understand my story or what I'm doing. Like, if I ever have an opportunity to get a big deal, like I want to get to zero. I don't care about being rich right now. I care about being at zero. Like,
Back
that's my
to
goal.
zero.
Yeah, I want to have a fresh start. If I could have anything in the world that's just a fresh start, be at zero, get a new
How much
chance.
of that restitution are you knocking out a month? You allowed to speak about that?
I mean, right now it just varies. I've only been paying, like when I was on probation, I was paying $1,000 a month. Like, HBO money went towards it. If I had any, like, my tax return goes towards it. But like,
what's
right
your pot at right now?
What's my pot?
What's
Like,
the pot
what
at?
I still owe?
Yeah, the total.
I owe like a little still over 400,000.
Damn.
Plus, you know, any people that were off the books, you know, that I got to look out for. I mean, I think all said and done, if I had like $750,000 to take care of everything, then I'd
Wow,
be
you
good.
How
hear
much
that?
of your work
You hear
ethic-
that? They're not making him pay that other 300. He's just doing it because he's a good fucking guy.
I mean, I know I have a list mentally and physically of everyone that looked out for me, you know, and this, you got to realize this all happened 10 years ago. That's still, I still think about it,
Of
you know,
course.
daily. That's still a mindset. That's what keeps me going. And like, people are like, oh, well, he's making money now, this and that. I mean, like, I still have to live. Like, this is I quit my job to do this. I just think this is what gets me. Right now, I'm at the point where this is like a livable wage. Now I need to bring it to the next level where it's a livable wage, plus it's clearing like hefty amounts of profit to start banging it out.
to start paying that back.
Yeah.
What is your projection of having everything paid back?
I mean, ideally, I would wish like a big deal comes along where I could just like pay it off in the next couple of years. Like, if Spotify picks it up, because like I tell people all the time, the amount of money I owe is nothing. Like, I was a kid that raised $500,000 at 18 years old. I had a nightclub that generated hundreds of thousands in revenue, even though it didn't make any money. So for me to start this podcast, it's going to bring in, you know, $100,000 gross, even though there's a lot of expenses with that. It shows I'm getting back onto those steps. And now I know a lot better about management and money and what to do and what not to do. And I don't have any investors. Like, I just do this on my own. So I think it'll only be a matter of time before a deal comes. Like, we just signed on with the advertising agency, which is big. You know, there's going to be opportunity. We need that. I tell the guys all the time, we need that one celebrity, that one person that believes in what we're doing, believes in the story and backs it. Like, just introduces us to people, gets us in the door.
So you think you're right there? I think you are.
I think we could get a deal with Spotify, with Barstool, with anyone. And it doesn't have to be $1 million deal, whatever, you know? I just think we're on the cusp of something with the downloads. We're the first of its kind for this podcast. And everyone loves the prison stories because that's what sells. Like, we're working on a big Snapchat deal right now for exclusive Snapchat content. We're doing things. And people love, like, you look at these big podcasts like Flagrant, like whatever, they're bringing prison people on because that's never going to die. It's such an interesting thing that no one really knows about, and it's crazy. And there's always people that go to prison. Imagine how many people you can interview that have these stories.
Yeah, I mean, I
should go to
haven't gone
prison.
to prison yet.
Go to prison.
Yeah, but you guys both have interesting stories. Like Tony has the accident. You have that you're this young person that went from being broke to now running a sales team. Like your age, I tell Bryce all the time, is like, that's your hook, man. Like you have this huge, like this little empire. Like I would be doing like day in the life vlogs, showing people the
said
office.
this little empire?
Yeah.
Sherry said it was little.
He called your empire.
Okay,
Wait
but
till he sees
you
your
know what I
penis.
mean? Like you have like this little, or not little, you have this thing, but like, dude, my
little
friends
thing.
at that age were not doing that. I don't know anyone that was that age doing what you're doing now, you know?
Yeah.
Or even like Tony or whatever, you have something. And I think you just play on those strengths and you run it and you get it to that next level.
So after Billy McFarland, me and you box, can you get me big?
Dude, you'd probably beat me, bro. You know? I'm not really a fighter in that sense, and I don't even want to be like a full-time boxer. I'm like, I just see this as like
An opportunity.
An opportunity. Yeah. I'm the type of person that's the same reason why I did OnlyFans. Like, I'm not going to say no to an opportunity. If there's something there, I'm going to try it at least once. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Fair.
It's all for a good cause.
I
You're
like it.
paying.
Yeah.
You're paying your restitution.
Dude, I would love, like, if Barstool puts up $100K each for the fight or whatever it is, bam, restitution right there.
I like that.
Yeah.
How much money would you be happy making annually?
What I've learned in my life for having so much money, like at a young age, and you got to keep in mind, it was only for a few months that I had this money. I really don't even need much. Like I was happy at Whole Foods when I was making like, 90, 100K a year. Like that was enough to live off of. It gives you good credit, like having that good income stream. I could do whatever, I could travel if I wanted to. My problem's always just been I've had bad debt from the past. So I think if I can have like 100, 150 grand a year and be at zero behind me.
I think you work so well because of the pressure, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You've always been under the fucking microscope, bro.
Yeah.
What happens when you pay off all your debt? Do you think it's going to hinder how you work, or do you think by that time you'll just be so
that's a good
dedicated to the
question.
game?
I had the work ethic before that's how I got into the business.
Yeah.
Because I had
That's how
that
you
work
got
ethic.
into jail.
I mean, I was 16 years old doing those teen parties, making 10 grand a month in profit. So I had that.
You were going to be Zach Dingy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I want so bad to just like to be at zero, have like, dude, I couldn't tell you. I think it's been since I was 16 years old when I actually had like some savings.
Yeah.
Now you can't save when you're in the hole like that. So it's always money coming in, money coming out.
When they picked you up, did you have any money in the bank, or it was all spent?
Dude, I literally owned this big nightclub booking these big acts, and I was living at my parents' house. I had not a single bill in my name. My driver's license was suspended.
But no money in the bank, nothing?
Dude, no, the
You
business
owned the
account was always
nightclub?
negative. I kept switching bank accounts because I kept dude, I got banned from Wells Fargo, from Bank of America, from Chase. I would overdraft their accounts. There was always chargebacks. Like this business, like when I had to buy, if I had like an influx of cash at all, I probably could have made more money, but I didn't. Like I would take ticket sales to buy drinks, like Gatorade, water, or whatever for the club to stock it for that night. The day of a show, I'd be running to the dollar store with a shopping cart to bring the stuff back. It was a grind because we had nothing, literally nothing. There was never any, it was terrible.
Now, when you say you own the nightclub, you own the business, not
I own
any
the business.
physical property, right?
No, I own the business, like the barricades that we used in front of the stage, the walkie-talkies, and like the coolers. But the sound system we rented, like,
Damn.
dude, I don't know. Looking back on it now, I don't know how I made it work. Whether it was luck or just my determination to never give up. I mean, I guess it's the same reason why I like the pods, working out, because I'm just like relentless. Like to me, there's no other option.
Yeah.
And this is like 100% legit, so there's not going to be something that stops me. It's not like the FBI is going to raid the place tomorrow and it's shut down, because everything's legit. It's 100%.
Don't
Be
you
good
think
content.
Don't you think that could be an opportunity for you to have an ironic event again?
I thought about it. I think like if I ever were to throw a concert or something, it would be when I was at zero, and it would be like a giveaway or like a celebration.
We gotta have a big ass
Yeah,
party.
we got to do something big.
That would
Some
be
Wolf of
sick.
Wall Street
if you did it
shit.
at Tuxedo.
No, that place is done. But to me, like The risk, dude, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I haven't generated real income through a business since I was doing the teen parties. So to be able to see this revenue coming in from social media and doing this with literally no help, like no investors, nothing, you know, just building this up
Proof
on my
that
own.
you can do it to yourself, and
Yeah.
it wasn't just luck.
I think for such a long time, I was always worried about, like, maybe I'm just a terrible business person and I can't, like, ever own my own business. But to see this now generating revenue and bringing on clients and stuff, I think that's something to be said.
What kind of check would you have to get to sell the rights to everything?
Well, I mean, like, no one's bought, like, my personal story rights. Like, I think if it got to the point where, like, a big production company came around or whatever, pay off the restitution. And that could even be, like, negotiated down. Like, they could go to the government with a check, and, like, if we're going to pay it all off in one shot or whatever, like, I'm fine with that. I always look at it at this, like, this podcast could be my income for my life, for whatever. But any big deal that comes, I'm not pocketing that. That's just going to pay off the old debt.
Yeah.
So this helps build the foundation to get that big deal, whether it's, you know, like a streaming site buying it, or Roku or YouTube or whoever it is, you know, doing that.
See, what does that mean though? When they buy your rights to your story, that just means they do a story on you and then that's it?
Well, sometimes people's story rights get bought and they never even do anything. It just, they have it. They have that, like the guys.
Does that just mean you can't go tell your story somewhere else?
Yeah, you can't sell it to another, like they'll buy your rights. Like if I had a book and they bought the rights to the book to auction it or whatever.
Yeah, but that makes sense. That's a physical, tangible thing. How do you sell your story?
It's an intellectual property.
Yeah,
But
so
then
he
I'm not
couldn't go
understanding.
on a
You-
podcast
and tell your story.
his story and get someone else get paid for it.
Yeah, they would own it. Like they would, but right now no one owns it.
You would want to do that?
100%. That's a long-term goal. Like if I could get a movie or a TV series or whatever where they give you $500,000. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street, you got $1 million for his story rights.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, and his fucking movie made 300
Are
million.
you
he
writing
didn't
a
get that,
script?
but-
Who plays you in the movie?
No, I don't know who plays me. I was always thinking like Miles Teller. We talked about this in the
yeah.
last
Oh,
podcast.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
don't know. I feel like that doesn't make sense though. I'm lost on why you would sell.
It'd be like me going
What?
on YouTube and telling the story about the little train, the engine
I
that
get
could,
that part,
and me trying
but
to get
why
paid for
would
that.
you?
I don't own that story.
But why would you want to sell it if that's your fucking story? Someone better be offering you fucking $50 million.
That's why he'd
they
want to
wouldn't-
sell it.
They wouldn't
No.
offer that much, but they would like to turn it into a movie or a TV show. There's a lot of potential with that.
Got it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're optioning the rights for that. And I'm after meeting with Larry and stuff, like I'm definitely going to work on a book. He self-published, sold a lot of copies. I think there's something there for me.
Definitely.
And like we're talking to a couple producers now that are interested in a podcast where it's like telling your story through a podcast, like those mini-series podcasts where it's like 8 or 10 episodes. We just need that one thing because right now I think there's a market for something to be done about me because the HBO documentary's off HBO. So if I need one piece of content out there. I think a documentary could be big, whatever it is, whatever that stepping stone is.
I
There's
think a
definitely
docu
something.
would be the best.
I think having a good documentary, like an hour and a half, that sits on Netflix or Hulu or HBO or whatever
so
would
why
be good.
aren't you guys shooting that?
Haven't been reached out. I mean, right now the writer
Why aren't you
strike's
doing
going
it for
on.
yourself?
I mean, we've talked about putting it on YouTube and stuff, but if I want a documentary that's going to live like that, I want it done like real professional, have it out there, have all the characters like a
So
documentary.
why don't you write a script and shop
What
that
the
out?
fuck you flicking me off for?
Why don't you write a script and shop it?
That's just not the focus right now, man.
Okay.
I need to be focused. What I've learned, if anything, these last 8 months, like put in the work, not worry about anything. Like I used to be.
I mean, that's
so
what
worried.
that sounds like to me is putting in the work.
No, I think like
And
I don't want to
chasing that
say I don't want to
opportunity.
chase people like in the sense where like I was focused on like chasing news organizations or documentaries or agents to like, hey, you know, I have a good story. Now it's just like if I put everything into the podcast and it blows up, those people are going to come.
So you were kind
Agreed.
of already went that path.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a long time, those first few years after prison, I was pushing for, you know, to get things out and to do certain things. And now to be able to, I want to get to the point where they're approaching me.
Good. I agree with that. I wouldn't go and start to try and sell
Yeah,
your
I
story.
think that's not too far off for you. I think it could
Thanks,
certainly
Papa
happen.
Tony.
I love my Mr. Bickster.
No, man, you love my dad more. Mike Ox.
All right,
Vic.
tell me what you say to all the haters. That's the last thing I want to
Yeah,
hear.
see, you were saying before you read haters' you read all your comments?
Yeah, I read
it
all
doesn't
the
get to you,
comments.
the hate?
It used to in the beginning. It definitely used to get to me. And now, I don't know, maybe it happened overnight or just thick skin, or I've learned like you need those comments. It
all your
boosts-
haters are hating on me.
No, but like imagine if I have a video that has, 5,000 comments, you eliminate all the hateful ones, you're eliminating half or 3/4, and then the video has no engagement.
Yeah, but you're not eliminating it. I just don't understand why you look at it.
No, I'm just saying like that's my mindset where like you need that hate. And I think for someone like me that has gotten so much hate over the last 10 years, you just develop that skin around it. Like I know influencers where that still bothers them and they're still reading into it and they're getting aggressive. To me, like I'm looking at now the number of comments that are on it, not so much as like the quality of the comment.
Well, when it comes down to it, whether they're watching it and loving it or watching it and hating it, they're still a fucking fan.
Exactly. And it's motivation. Like that shit motivates me. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. Like that one hateful comment, I'm not going to go to sleep at night crying because of that.
No, they still give
you don't go to sleep at night crying?
I've gone to sleep
exactly what you want.
crying, but not over someone commenting that's a keyboard warrior coming at me. My depressed moments come from like just like the overwhelming part of all this, of the uphill battle I have to climb and like people not understanding or those types of challenges, But that's where like that comes from. But I just work through it, The gym keeps me grounded in that. Like I'm a very big visionary person. Like I see the potential. I see a world where all this comes together. So that's what I'm focused on.
Let me ask you that. You just said all this comes together. So you have a lot of pressure on you constantly since you've been 16 years old. Debt and people coming after you in prison and now on TikTok or on YouTube. People commenting saying like you shouldn't have a platform. Everything. So what are you solving for? Like, what are you trying to express to people? What is the end goal? Or what's your message? Whatever it is. I know message is his kind of question, but
stole his
like,
message.
what are you solving for? What are you trying to get to? Or just a big following?
Share
your story?
Pay his motherfucking restitution.
I know,
and
but
make
I'm
it
saying
right.
past that.
I think the ulterior message is one, like making things right. But beyond that, it's people can look at my story, my situation, what I've been able to build and what I stand for and what I work for as you can make a mistake in your life and you could rebound from that and you can come back stronger and you can use it, as fuel to your fire to get you to that next level.
Yep.
And if people can see that this 16-year-old kid had all this ambition, fucked up, did whatever he did, comes out, got a stable job, realized that wasn't necessarily for him and took a risk because not a lot of people take a risk. I took that risk to quit, got out, and to be able to build this with nothing, with all the odds stacked against me. If I'm able to succeed at that, and a lot of people will say I'm succeeding now, like I see those comments, I'm doing well, but to me, I'm not at that level yet because to me, true success will be when I'm at zero, like when I'm able to pay everyone back. But everyone
That's
has different ideas
right?
of
Imagine
success.
That. He keeps saying that. And it blows my mind every time.
It's just like
success is when I'm at zero.
Yeah, because like other people, like I see on Facebook, I have a really strong community on Facebook, and they like see what I'm doing. They're like, "You're so successful. You're doing great. And I love that, and I love that energy. But that's not what my mindset is right now.
Right.
Like I'm happy with where I am, but I know that that's not where I need to be. Like I'm not complacent in this. I'm not comfortable. I want to bring it to that next level. So that's a message that you could fuck up in your life and you can rebound from that. It's not the end.
Two things for you. Can you say in depth?
In depth.
Can you say endeavor?
Endeavor.
Bro,
Okay.
you can't even say
Dude, what
attic.
is it?
You told me to ask him.
You can't even say attic. Say attic.
That's great. I could say $1 million in my bank account.
Thank you
Ian
guys
Bick,
for
thank
tuning
you.
in
I
to
love
Two
you.
Dudes, Three Legs podcast.
2 dudes and 1 Bick.
2 dudes, 3 legs, and 1 Bick.
All right, next time we see you, you're going to have 100,000 subscribers.
I hope so, but I see you all the time, so that's not.
I'm going to close my eyes from now on.
We don't see you.
Oh, I still see you.